Hello, I hope you're doing very well. My name is Kim, and today I would like to talk about a very interesting topic, which is called catering for students' diversity within the classroom context. First of all, let me introduce you the definition of the term student diversity. So, student diversity refers to differences among students within a learning environment, such as their family background, their cultures, their different religions, and family norms, which significantly impact their living philosophy, the ways they behave, and the ways they react to specific situations during their study life. Uh, for example, students who come from refugee backgrounds may find it highly challenging to engage with today mainstream classroom activities due to their low English language proficiency and their low socioeconomic status. Additionally, students who experience disabilities represent one important dimension of student diversity that each educator needs to pay attention to. So take a few time to look at the research delivered by the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare and the ACARA. In 2018, statistics show that about 380,000 students, including 227,000 male students, compared to 154,000 female students experiencing disability. Whereas in 2024, students received an educational adjustment due to disability, and this represents 25.7% of total enrollment. Meanwhile, it was 24.2% in 2023. So obviously, 1 in 10 school students suffering disability. Beside the language barrier, we can see that disability is considered a visible challenge for students when studying at school. It affects their confidence due to the fear of being compared and discriminated against by friends and teachers. So, therefore, this is very necessary and important for all teachers to well recognize student diversity and respect them. So now let's move on a different concept. So have we ever been wondering why students disengage in classroom activities? So first, actually because they lack their interest. Uh, It is caused by a lot of reasons, but typically students whose English language proficiency is low seem to find engaging in classroom activities highly overwhelming. They are reluctant to prompt questions and discuss the content of knowledge. Although they might very they might be very creative and interested in sharing opinions, but they actually don't know how to put their ideas into words due to the language barrier. So next, um, students who experience disability or language barrier may also lack confidence. They are afraid of being judged and stigmatized by classmates and even the teachers. They considered that they are doing more slowly than their peers and they are left behind. So It is very important for teacher to pay attention to them and support them in time. However, some teachers nowadays do not really carefully support their student, and it can be a a consequence of student. It can be a reason of student disengagement in schooling. When students who need assistance are ignored by their teachers, they cannot know how to address the issues and feel excluded. Young students, especially kindergarten students and primary school students, have not yet obtained enough knowledge and life skill to personally handle the troubles. So teacher must mindfully uh, look after them and create a safe and respectful environment for students to learn. Furthermore, it is vital for educators to create an inclusive education which can then reduce the level of disengagement in students. Inclusive education means creating an engaging classroom environment where students are taught with respect, equality, and understanding. We can we can perceive it as a student-driven curriculum. So I have some approaches and learning strategies for teachers to consider as effective approaches to create an inclusive education. So first, teachers should understand individual learning styles and abilities. For example, some students are interested in visual learning, like diagrams or mind maps with a lot of colors instead of words, text, and vocabularies. Meanwhile, other students might find it easier to learn through practical activities. They actually understand the lessons when it is put in a real life situation. Uh, for example, learning by doing. So know students and how they learn actually part of the 7 Australian professional standard for teacher. So next, let's talk about the second effective approach that I want to introduce to you. It is teacher-led circle group activity. So according to the New South Wales government in 2023, teacher group Teacher-led circle group enables teachers and students to respectfully communicate in class by gathering students to sit as a circle with teachers who plays as a leader in group. Teacher-led circle group fosters equality in class because both teacher and students sit together with a talking piece to take turns for speaking. It makes sure that no one is disrupted by others. Uh, Pianta 1999 claimed that teacher plays as a mature and trustworthy third party who can minimize the risk of conflict between students. Uh, Thanks to the teacher-led circle group, teachers can also reinforce some restorative practices by using effective questions such as what do you think, how do you feel about the lessons, why do you consider that, and so on. So these are the two teaching strategies that I think are very efficient and practical for all teachers to approach and implement in an inclusive education. So let's talk about another interesting concept, which is called dialogic approach. So dialogic approach is defined as a pedagogical method focusing on communication context like group discussion, brainstorming, which can help students consolidate their critical thinking, collaborative learning, creativity, communication skills. So, through dialogic teaching, students are fostered to question opinions made by teachers and peers, and also the research. So it can enhance their analytical skills. So basically, students would practice to questions to use their critical thinking and analytical skills to evaluate which resources uh, are reliable to depend on. Dialogic approach encourages students to go beyond the learning formal lessons designed for a standard curriculum to engage in a more holistic environment where they can always improve their life skills. So, so that's all the important concepts which related directly to the students' diversity that we should learn about in order to uh, obtain new knowledge about how to cater for the student diversity and how to create a supportive, inclusive environment for all learners to effectively uh, engage in education. So, at, so before ending this presentation, I would like to share with you my teaching philosophy for becoming a teacher. So, in my opinion, teachers as a leader and a person who supports students to acquire knowledge and explore their potential. Teachers appear to spark interest in learning among students, fostering their curiosity and creativity. Being a teacher does not only mean I am choosing a job, but it also means I am listening to what my mission is truly about. When I teach students, I can also identify who I am in this life. Thank you very much for your helpful listening. And this is the end of my presentation. I hope you have a very great day. Thank you.